I don't know.
Ah!
Bro.
What the f was that?
Was that a rock?
You hear that?
No way. No way. What was that? Ow, ow, my face.
Tonight, we look at 6 disturbing camping encounters caught on camera. Real moments, real danger. Don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying footage like this. Let's begin. It's March 4th, 2023, a frigid day deep in the Alaskan backcountry. Luke, the man behind the YouTube channel Outdoor Boys, is well known for his wholesome outdoor content, camping trips, fishing, and family adventures in the wild. But on this particular day, the tone of his usual outings would take a darker turn. Accompanied by his 5-year-old son Jake, Luke sets out for a winter camping experience using a hammock hot tent setup.
Luke here at the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel, and me and my son Jake, we're taking my snow dog out into the wilderness of Alaska to go winter camping in a hammock hot tent. We're going to be eating some amazing food, having a great time. Yeah, come in here. What do you think, Jake? Is this a nice tent? You're like a little snowshoe hare. You can float right on the snow. We got a nice bison hide here. Scoot up over here. Oh, you got tucked.
Everything goes smoothly at first. They build a fire, set up camp, and take in the stillness of the frozen forest. It's calm, serene, almost too quiet, but as night settles in and the fire crackles low, that silence is suddenly broken.
Got the fireplace turned around so I can work on it a bit. You hear that?
A haunting howl pierces through the trees, then another, then several. The sounds draw nearer, growing louder, more menacing. Luke immediately recognizes the danger. A pack of wolves is nearby, and they're not far. He doesn't panic. He doesn't make noise. He remains still, trying not to alert them. The moment stretches endlessly, but eventually, the howling begins to fade.
Gotta use my inReach to send a message to my wife, let her know we didn't get eaten by wolves.
They survive the night without a direct confrontation. But the fear doesn't leave with the wolves. It hangs heavy in the frosty air. The next morning, Luke uses his satellite communicator to send a quick message to his wife, letting her know they made it through the night without becoming prey. Though no direct attack occurred, this incident underscores how vulnerable campers can be in true wilderness. Luke's knowledge and calm response likely prevented escalation, but had he panicked, made noise, or left food unsecured, the outcome might have been very different, especially with a child present. Predatory animals like wolves rarely attack humans, but when they do, it often begins exactly like this. Late at night, far from help, with no warning other than a sound in the distance. What would have happened if Luke hadn't stayed quiet? What if Jake had woken up crying? This encounter reminds us how thin the line can be between adventure and survival. Hold on a sec. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's continue. It's February 14th, 2024, a freezing winter evening in the U.S. Chris Baird, a solo adventurer known for exploring eerie and dangerous locations, heads out on another daring overnight car camping trip. His destination this time, the infamous Purgatory Road, a place steeped in local legends and ghost stories.
Well, now you guys can see where I am. Purgatory Road. There's a car. It's honestly feels pretty comfortable right now. It's not terrible, but it's always different when you're by yourself. There's Spirit Talker. It is on. Hello? Like I want to look, but I don't, you know what I'm saying? Kind of creepy. All right, Spirit Talker's on in my pocket, so it's probably gonna scare me. It's gonna scare you too, but it is rolling right now. What the f was that? Swear to God, something just hissed at me. Who just hissed at me? I'm not going down there. Screw that. All right. That was freaky. That was real freaky. Show you guys. I'm not like. It's like a growl hiss or something. Screw it. Let's go on this side. See if there's anything over here. A whole lot of junk. I wish people would pick up after themselves.
As night deepens, things start to shift. Armed with a spirit communication device, Chris begins scanning the area. The device quickly reacts. Odd words, eerie tones. Then, a sharp hiss cuts through the silence. Chris spins toward the sound, visibly shaken. "Something just hissed at me," he mutters. Backing away from a shadowy area he refuses to enter.
Just want to see what's up with this water. At least for Purgatory Road, I've never noticed there to be water. So it's kind of interesting to me. There's that noise again. See? Who's over by the water? This is the second time I've heard you over here.
Children are playing.
Holy. Are there actually children playing by the water right now? Can you guys come out and show yourselves for me? Make a splash or do something. Yo, no way. No way. Did you guys hear that? That was literally a splash. That could have been a coincidence. Yes, I understand. But that was a splash in the water. If that was one of the children that are playing over here, like chills up my body right now. I appreciate you for doing that. That was really cool. It says don't tell people. It's okay if you guys are out playing by the water. I won't tell anybody. There was a voice. Someone just moved over there, but right before that I swear I just heard a voice. Like a disembodied voice. Do you feel comfortable with me? Do you want to come out to the road and talk? You can talk into my camera. There's a little red light.
The device continues to respond, and strange noises echo through the trees. But Chris stays put, determined to explore further. He walks toward a nearby water source, something he hadn't expected to find there. As he listens, he hears splashing. Then, faint voices. Children's voices. He asks the spirits to reveal themselves, and in response, hears a second splash.
And I always tell myself I'm never going to do it. But when Dylan and TJ are both busy, what choice do I have? So here I am. This. Fuck this.
What was happening was beyond explanation, and even Chris, no stranger to strange, is stunned. He considers calling it a night and heads back to his vehicle.
What it is about this right now, I know there's a light on, but like, I'm stretched out, my feet are down, the door's locked. I don't know if you guys can see me, but I could probably sleep like this all night, honestly. It feels good. The only bad thing about the Honda is there's no tinted windows. I wish the windows were tinted. Then I wouldn't feel like people are actually watching me, which I hope they aren't, but... Did you guys hear something? Hello? I don't see anything or anybody. That was nothing, guys. That was nothing. I'm just gonna go to sleep now. Toodaloo!
While sitting inside the car, trying to settle in, he hears footsteps nearby. He looks, but sees nothing. Then a knock, sudden, loud. He brushes it off as coincidence, but his camera records something else entirely. Movement outside the car. A shadow approaches the vehicle. Door handles jiggle. Someone, or something, is trying to get in.
What the f was that? What the f was that? What the f is that? Hello? What the f? What the f?
Shaken, he decides to drive away. But just before leaving, another sound jolts him. A faint growl, low and close. Some viewers suggest it may have been curious animals or even local pranksters. But the eyes, the voices, and especially the attempt to enter the vehicle all point towards something more menacing. Could something supernatural dwell on Purgatory Road, drawn to solitude, to fear? Chris left that night without answers. But the camera captured what he couldn't explain. What do you think was watching him through the window? Was it a spirit, or someone with far darker intentions? Let us know your theory in the comments. It's the evening of August 26, 2024. The sun has dipped below the horizon, but the warm summer air still lingers. In this video, we follow Dan Lee, the creator of Cursed Urban, as he heads out for what he expects to be another eerie camping trip. Known for exploring haunted and obscure locations, Dan is no stranger to the bizarre.
I go camping in a forest that's about an hour and a half north from where I live. There was something even more terrifying waiting for me in that forest than any of that. Tonight's episode is terrifying, and it's an experience I certainly don't want to relive. I hear gunshots. Dude, that's gunshots. I hear gunshots coming from over there. Oh, that's never good.
As he begins exploring, the forest seems still, unnervingly so. The quiet is soon broken by the distant sound of gunshots echoing from the far side of a nearby lake. Though alarmed, Dan pushes forward.
All right, we are back, and I hate to be this guy, dude. I almost didn't even want to say it, but while the camera was off, of course, I know I'm gonna hear it in the comments. I heard some sort of weird, like, sound coming from that way. It sounded like, I don't know what it sounded like. It's nothing I've ever heard before. Something really weird, like a chattering sound almost. But there's no animal that I know of that makes that sound. All right, we got Spirit Talker on. Let's see if we get some. See if we get anything. There's been. Oh, that scared me. That scared me, dude. There's some hikers on a trail adjacent to mine, and oh, dude, my heart is.
Not long after, another sound grabs his attention. This one is harder to place, something unnatural, a sound he struggles to describe. It wasn't an animal. It wasn't familiar. He activates his spirit communication app in hopes of understanding what's around him. Then suddenly, laughter, unmistakable, human. But it comes from deep within the woods.
Oh no, I think I'm going to start heading back the other way towards the campsite. Yeah, I am. Because I don't want to... I know all these people camping can see me for sure with my lights out here, but I don't want to push my luck and get too close to them. I know they're far away, but still.
Dan's heart races. He believes there might be other people hiking nearby, but something feels off. He makes the decision to return to camp, not wanting to press his luck any further.
Shut up. Dude, these people don't stop. Just raced up and down this road. I don't know what that was. I think it was just an animal, but it's just really, really weird that we get others were scared and then we hear something in the next minute outside the tent. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go review the footage real quick that I took while I was sleeping.
He hears something moving just outside the tent. He calls out. No one responds. Looking out, he sees nothing. But the sensation of being watched intensifies. He decides to check the footage recorded during the night. That's when the realization hits. There was someone, or something, near his tent while he was sleeping. Terrified, Dan packs up his gear and leaves the area immediately. Was this just a coincidence of nearby campers and pranksters, or something more sinister? The flashlight, the laughter, the roar of motorcycles at night. It paints a picture of a forest that wasn't entirely empty. Some theorize the area might be used for clandestine gatherings, possibly even rituals, explaining the strange reports Dan referenced. Others believe the experience was paranormal, a haunting triggered by his spirit communication attempts. Dan never returned to that forest. In the remote stretches of the Appalachian Mountains, two seasoned explorers embark on what they believe will be a bold but controlled search for something legendary. Bear, the face of a popular camping channel, is joined by Doug from Fear Fanatics as they venture into one of the most isolated areas of the forest, completely off-grid, with no power, water, or cell signal.
Anyway, for this adventure, we are in the Appalachian Mountains in search for the oh-so-elusive Bigfoot. Tonight, we're staying in an RV, and we got it parked in a very pretty, what would you call this?
We're boondocking. There's no electric, no water, no nothing.
Boondocking.
So we're in the middle of, like, pretty much nowhere.
No, we're in the middle of nowhere, but we're able to park the RV, and there's a little fire spot for us. Other than that, we're surrounded by mountains, woods, and hopefully some Bigfoots.
Was it moving in the bushes?
Look, some just moved over there.
That's a game trail for sure.
That's
man.
a big trail. Look at that.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Like, even if it's not Bigfoot, there's like, that's a big trail, bro.
Wow. This is right where I just heard something too. It was up. It was up this way though.
You gonna go on the trail?
Just for a second, maybe.
After settling in, the two head deeper into the forest. The woods are thick, the ground littered with old leaves and undergrowth. It doesn't take long before something feels off.
Oh!
Oh shit! What the freak was that, bro? Did you hear that?
Whew. What was that?
Oh, I don't know, but something in that tree. I don't know what
That
it was.
scared the crap
I
out
guess
of
it
me.
could have been a bird or something.
Could it be an angry coon?
It could have been an owl. Oh shit! What the freak is that, bro?
I don't know.
It doesn't sound like a bird. I don't know what that is, you know? You think you see something and it's just a tree?
You know, isn't it like usually one of the last... I know you... Holy smokes, man. Hold on. What the heck? It was like a...
I saw something flying through there, dude.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you got it on camera?
I don't know if
Man, I hope that sound. I hope they could hear that. That sucker was loud.
in the woods, bro. Hold on. Thought I could still see the leaves shake.
They notice a large, well-worn trail cutting through the brush. Something big has passed through here. Both men freeze. They whisper theories, maybe a bird, a raccoon, or something bigger. Then a loud, unidentifiable sound breaks the silence. "Did you see that?" one of them whispers. They scan the trees. Something moved. They're sure of it. The camera captures the shaking of branches, but whatever caused it remains out of sight.
You should try another Bigfoot call.
Yeah.
You think?
You want me to?
It could be.
I'll do it. I don't care.
It could be a stupid idea or a good idea. Give it your all.
You want me to do like a really loud one?
Yeah. Call them from all over the mountains.
Oh, yeah. All right, here we go.
That's pretty good. That was good. That's probably what they do.
They make noises like that, right?
I always did it a little different, but I like that. I think. Oh, man, I just heard something fall through there. Hey. Go. Was that a rock? What was that? Ow, my face! Damn it! Go, man, don't stop. Man, something's throwing something. Go.
Still undeterred, they decide to call out. They perform a classic Bigfoot call, a long, echoing whoop, hoping to provoke a response. Suddenly, a crash in the brush. Something heavy, something fast. A branch snaps near Bear. They break into a run. Panic rises as they flee, crashing through the undergrowth toward the van, but the sounds aren't behind them. They're beside them now. A stone, or something like it, hits a tree just inches from where Bear was standing. When they finally make it back to their vehicle, they sit in stunned silence. The woods outside are still, but what they experienced feels far from over.
Just quiet listening. I haven't heard nothing. Shh. I swear I just heard like a twitch. Grab my light. There's one behind us. Go. Don't stop.
Could this have been a large animal reacting to their presence? Or was something genuinely stalking them? The region has a long history of reported sightings, strange sounds, and unexplained movement, and their Bigfoot calls may have drawn more attention than they bargained for.
The Appalachian Mountains in search of Bigfoot, and man, I don't know. Did we find him?
Something was in there, dude. Like, something was in there. Something was definitely running up the creek bed at the end. Like, I don't know what that was.
Some skeptics say it could have been a bear or another large predator, but the distinct responses to their calls and the aggressive tree strike raise questions. What was chasing them through the forest that night? Was it a known creature disturbed by intruders, or something that only emerges when you call for it? Some mysteries are best left untouched. But it's that same mystery that keeps pulling people back into the woods. It's July 30th, 2024. On what seems like a calm summer evening, Yasko, the YouTuber behind the popular channel of the same name, sets out to explore what many call the most haunted forest in America, known as the serial killer forest. This area has a grim past. Local legends speak of a murderer who once dismembered victims here, scattering remains throughout the woods. In 2019, a body was even recovered from the lake within these same woods. Some believe the victims' spirits still roam the area, their cries lingering in the trees, their shadows appearing after dark. Yasko isn't alone on this journey. He's joined by his friend Chris. The day begins like any other camping trip, but what awaits them that night is far from normal.
Why are these buildings here? Bro, that's like a... Is that a... That looks like a fucking body.
What the fuck is that?
Can you go look at that, please, before I go any farther? I don't know if I should show that on the camera.
Bro, I honestly
You know
feel...
the stories of this place, right? I mean, we all know the stories.
Well, I feel sick to my fucking stomach right now, dude. What is that? That actually looks like a fucking body bag.
Wandering deeper into the woods, they stumble upon a collapsed wooden structure. Inside it lies something they never expected. They find what appears to be a human-shaped figure, motionless, shoes still visible. It's unclear whether it's a sleeping person, a lifeless body, or something else entirely. Fear takes hold. They decide not to investigate further and retreat to their car. But safety doesn't come easily.
Sure as hell feels.
It says help you.
Help me from what?
I don't know. Bro,
What the f was that?
what was that?
Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go.
Just as they reach the vehicle, a deep growl erupts from the darkness behind them, and they run.
For good measure.
They're literally sleeping right next to the foundation that probably has hundreds of years of history.
Bro, what is that? Bro, it sounds like a
You heard that exactly, 100%.
No, almost like a moan. Whatever when you're talking about the history of the foundation. I'm gonna stay up for a bit, so I think.
Should we look out and just double check? Like, I don't.
Flashlight is
Here,
right here somewhere.
Going?
Yeah. You have that girthy one. You could go check if you want. I don't know where.
Maybe we just leave it. Maybe we just go to bed.
Chris, what the was that? That was a scream. That was coyotes in that direction. That was a scream.
Somebody's talking right now. Hello?
Guys, I truly think that there's someone outside of our tent right now. We hear footsteps approaching the tent. Bro, what do we do?
I don't fucking know. I feel like it would be safer in here, but also it's a fucking tent. Where's the machete? Want to take my camera?
Hold on. I'm just gonna look outside. Oh shit.
Anything?
No, truck's fine. Alright. I'm gonna keep the camera rolling.
Back at the campsite, they try to settle in for the night, but the sounds return. Faint moans, breaking branches, and something that sounds disturbingly human. They peek outside the tent. Nothing.
I'm gonna be awake for a bit, so yeah. I don't know.
Enjoy yourself.
Oh, I will. Chris. Yo, Chris. Alright, I'm gonna whisper right now because Chris is like knocked out. It genuinely sounded like a voice outside the tent. But I hear the wind picking up, so maybe it's just something traveling in the... And I don't like this at all. At all.
Chris sleeps. Yasko stays awake, whispering into the camera, reporting what sounds like a voice outside.
Is that my truck?
Is that your truck, bro?
Where's my keys?
So before that, it sounded like someone punched the tent.
Wait, what? Something punched
Something
this.
like shuffled away. I woke up with something like it's like sounded like something punched like the side of the tent or something, or like almost like I don't know, just like touched it. It was like that kind of noise.
I don't even remember going to bed. My fucking mic fell off.
As exhaustion wins over, Yasko finally drifts off, but not for long. The tent shakes, as if something just pushed against it. Chris wakes, startled, and says he heard something touch the side of the tent. A noise like a fist pressing into the fabric, but when they look outside, there's no one. Still, the footage reveals something was there. At dawn, they pack up and leave, visibly shaken. The collapsed hut, the figure inside, the unexplained growls and voices. Was it just an elaborate coincidence? A disturbed hiker? Or something far worse? Some believe the area's dark past may have left a spiritual imprint, drawing investigators like Yasko into its orbit. Others suggest human interference, possibly squatters, or people with far more sinister intentions. After all, this forest is infamous for both the dead and the living who vanish here. What was inside that hut? And what, or who, stood outside the tent that night? One thing is certain, they weren't alone. Dan Lee is no stranger to danger. A solo adventurer known for exploring haunted forests, he's faced more than a few unsettling nights. But this trip would leave a mark. On this occasion, Dan returns to a place with a sinister reputation, the infamous Skinwalker Forest. Armed with only his gear and a spirit talker, Dan plans to camp alone and attempt to make it through the night, hoping to uncover who or what might be responsible for the bizarre occurrences reported in the area.
Guys, we are back in the Skinwalker Forest this evening. I am going to be camping here tonight. I'm going to be trying to stay the night. I want to say staying the night, but I will attempt to stay the night and see if we can get some answers.
The forest is quiet at first. Too quiet. Dan sets up his tent and begins to explore, device in hand. As he walks further from camp, something happens.
Oh, what's that? What's that? Whispers. Dude, I just heard whispers straight ahead. I just heard whispers. They were I couldn't tell what they were saying, but I could tell, like, it was somebody talking like this. You know what I mean? There's somebody talking just like this. Hello? Is there somebody else out here?
We make the noises.
Oh! What the We make the noises, dude. Right after I heard whispers, and I was telling you guys about, right after that, we make the noises.
He stops. Whispers, indistinct but unmistakable, carried through the trees. Someone speaking just out of reach. He calls out, but there's no response. Then, a chilling message appears on his device. We make the noises. The whispers weren't imagined. Something out there had heard him and responded. Disturbed, Dan makes his way back toward his campsite.
You guys would be like, oh, wow, Dan, this is the longest video we've ever seen. And I'd be like, well, it's also the most realistic because it's camping, it's me sleeping. And then everybody will be pissed and unsubscribe. No, I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to go to sleep. So, good night, guys. See you in a few hours.
The trail leads him directly to his tent, where he tries to settle down for the night, though sleep won't come easy. A sudden rustle, a tug. Something presses against the fabric of the tent. Dan wakes instantly.
What's that? There's something outside the tent. Guys, there's something outside the tent.
He whispers that something is just outside the entrance. The noise grows louder. Someone or something is trying to get in. When he finally unzips the tent and looks out, no one is there. The woods return to silence, but the feeling of being watched refuses to fade. The whispers, the message, the physical contact with the tent. Could it have been local wildlife, or perhaps something more intelligent? So what really tried to get inside his tent? A human? A spirit? Or one of the forest's more ancient legends? Dan may have made it out. But whatever was outside that night hasn't left the forest. If this case left you unsettled, the next one might be even worse. Imagine falling asleep in your tent, only to wake up and realize the zipper is open from the outside. That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.